Hello, this is Hugo from CircusConcepts, and today I'm going to show you the home Quadripod series, how to assemble it, what you have. So let's come closer, I'll show you the piece that you have when it comes to you. You have the bottom of the legs, this is version 1. You'll have the bottom of the legs, 4 of them. You'll have 4 bottom leg pieces, which have an angle at the end, that's how you know it's those ones. And then, depending on the model you're going to have 4, 12 or 16 total legs, okay? So this is the normal legs. And if you have the 15-foot model, then you will have 2 legs that have a cleat like this to lock your cable, okay? So that's only in the higher Home Max model that you will have those. And then you have the head. Of course, the head of the tripod comes already assembled. What's really fun about those, you have a swiveling eyeball, so you don't actually need a swivel. Works pretty well. So you can rig anything you want directly up there. Then you will have 1, 2 or 3 set of cables. In this case I have 2 ready here for the lower setting and for the max setting, so that will come with your tripod. So the legs, this is the cables that goes in between the legs once assembled. This is what comes up. It's going to come up in one box. I do not have the box with me. It's going to be just a box that size, 9 by 9 by 60 inches. Now that you're ready to assemble your home Quadripod, you have to decide which setting you're going to set it up. If you're setting up at the lower height, you'll have the base leg, and then you'll have 1 standard leg. If you're going to medium setting, a base leg, 2 standard legs. If you're going to higher max setting, you have a base leg, then you have a leg with a cleat. This cleat here, which is to attach a rope, and then 2 other standard legs. Alright, that's your setup. Now, I'm just assembling it on the ground to show you the different size so you know where to put the cleat. The assembly, the basic assembly, first you're going to take the foot here, the bottom leg, which is at angle. It's very easy to understand, is this one. You take off that little pin, whoop. You put it like this. Okay, the angle here is the same here. Put the little pin in. You have to align it. And then put the little pin on the other side. And you have the base leg. Once you have the base leg, how it works, the assembly is very, very simple. Okay, it's those ones. Make sure they're clean of any debris. Also very important. Put it in. Slide it in. It's really about holding in the middle to keep it. On the button, just push the button. Be very careful. It's very easy to pinch your fingers here. Push it in. Turn it until it clicks. That's how you assemble the legs. Okay, every leg assembly is going to be like this. So now for the assembly of your Quadripods, the first thing you want to try to find a space big enough. If you want to check the space, just get the cable. We're setting up at the highest setup right here. So I put the cable on the ground, I see where it's going to be, so I now have the space. My ground is not very even. It's really not the best. Try to set up in somewhere as flat, as level as possible. This just happened to be my backyard right now because we're weekend and I don't have that space for that. So we're going to set it up. To prepare yourself, put the cable in the square for the right size. You put the right amount of legs on each corner of the cable. One thing you have to note, very important here, the cleat. You put one cleat at the corner and the other cleat should be at the opposite corner. Okay? That's going to be very important later, so you can evenly spread the load from the cables. Alright? And then, so obviously I've already set up my base legs with the bottom foot and my head in the middle. So we're all set up. We're going to start. We're going to put this on a tripod and start assembling. This is Jean-Sébastien, our rigger. We're going to show you how to assemble it. And the image is worth 1,000 words, so let's get going. All right, now that you've assembled it, let's check a couple details. So first of all, when you assemble it, you want to make sure that your little push button stands out like this. Means it's locked in position, all right? And now to assemble the legs, you always have a pin in the washer, all right? So you put the cable, washer, and the pin to lock it in place, that's it. And as you saw in the video, once it's assembled, we pulled away all the legs so the cable's on the tension, which will give the good position setup of the legs so they're really straight and have all of their strength. And now you're all set up, you have the rig. One thing I didn't do in this setup, guess what? I didn't put my rigging on. I didn't put anything on. So if you're gonna assemble it, the first thing on is you're gonna put your rigging, but that's gonna be a separate videos. We're gonna explain the different rigging options. The best is always to rig directly at the top point without a pulley, a cable, or anything else, yeah? We're directly in the sun there, my bad. But this is the best, is to rig directly. Unfortunately, once it's set up, you cannot just change the apparatus as much as you want, so there's cons and pros of every different setup. If you're gonna be using almost the same one all the time, you can leave it up with your apparatus on it. But if your apparatus can get wet, like a silk, like a straps, which you don't want to stay wet all the time, you're gonna have to take it down. On the lower settings, it's very easy. You know, we have a step ladder. I don't have mine, it's a bit further away, but you go with a step ladder, hook it up and down. That's the best way to do it. On a higher setup, that's why we put the cleats on, so you can put a pulley system if you want. The pulley system is a bit more expensive. You'll have to buy, you know, a couple of ropes, pulleys, carabiners, but it will allow you to set it up and down. On the other hand, if you're gonna go train every day on it, or bring it in a park and set up every day, then you just, you know, just clip your thing on, set it up, bring it back down to take it down. That's easier. So you'll see in the separate videos I'll explain all the rigging options.